BP did not want you to see any of it. The tar balls washing ashore in Florida, the oil-soaked birds, the wrecked beaches, and wetlands. In our fourth story in the countdown, BP hoping all along the ocean would simply wipe away the evidence. Because, according to the CEO, Tony Hayward, the underwater gusher wreaking havoc in the Gulf and heading for the Atlantic is very tiny in relation to a very big ocean. Tonight, as you will see now in the graphic pictures that have escaped censorship in the Gulf, it is in fact Mr. Hayward who is very tiny in relation to an ocean of images. Without regard for the 11 men who lost their lives on the Deepwater Horizon rig, the fishermen who lost their livelihood, or the ecosystem on the verge of being wiped out, Mr. Hayward instead lamenting the time-consuming effort to plug the hole, reportedly asking colleagues, "What the hell did we do to deserve this?" Then applauding his company's efforts. Considering how big this has been, very little has got away from us. When asked if he was concerned about his own job security, Mr. Hayward shrugged, "I will be judged by the nature of the response." Here now, at the end of day 46, a look back at BP's response.
It wasn't our accident, but we are absolutely responsible for the oil. This is not our accident, but it's our responsibility. This wasn't our accident. This was not our accident. This was not our drilling rig. It was not our equipment. It was not our people, our systems, or our processes. This was Transocean's rig, their systems, their people, their equipment. Everything we can see at the moment suggests that the overall environmental impact of this will be very, very modest.
On East Grand Terre, a Louisiana barrier island, a heartbreaking discovery today.
We're going to fight it subsea, on the surface, and on the shore.
It sounds like you're referring to Churchill, who I know you like to quote.
The fact is that we are winning the battle on the surface. We have contained the oil in the offshore. There is today no oil on the shore. There is no oil forecast to be on the shore. We are containing the spill in the far offshore, and very little of the oil is getting to the shoreline.
Very, 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 very little oil is finding its way to the shore.
We've actually done quite a good job of containment in the offshore. There hasn't been a black tide.
Here, where the thick oil is lapping the shoreline, birds are trapped, dying in the ooze.
That's your oil.
I know. I'm gutted. I'm absolutely devastated. Clearly, the defences of the shore have been breached.
It's widely reported that what is happening in the meantime is that 5,000 barrels a day of oil is coming out of this well. Is that figure right?
The answer is no one knows with any precision.
It's because you can't measure what's coming out at the seabed.
No one knows what the rate is because no one's actually measured it. But
no, it's almost impossible to get a precise number.
There is no accurate way of estimating this, I'm afraid.
Today, in our fifth story, 3 separate research scientists telling National Public Radio, using calculations based on new video of the gushing pipe, they estimate that the rate is 10 times faster, at least 56,000 barrels a day, possibly as many as 84,000.
Now the question is, what is the oil cleanup doing to the workers?
This after 9 fishermen working to clean up the oil spill fell ill.
We believe maybe it's from the dispersal.
Whether it was anything to do with dispersants and oil, whether it was food poisoning or some other reason for them being ill, you know, food poisoning is clearly a big issue.
It won't stop such deep water exploration.
I don't believe it should. In the same way as Apollo 13 did not stop the space program.
There's no one who wants this thing over more than I do. You know, I'd like my life back. You all need to know that I am absolutely determined that we will win this and we will come out of this stronger and better as a company because of it. Well, everything we can see at the moment suggests that the overall environmental impact of this will be very, very modest.
As you heard, 500 to 1,000 square miles of oil on the surface around where the Deepwater Horizon was. A witness account this afternoon. And it's headed toward shore somewhere.